All right, good morning, everyone. Or maybe it's afternoon, or maybe you're listening to this recording and it's late at night. But I just want to say welcome to my webinar today on creating residual income and what that looks like with doTERRA and just as an entrepreneur in general. We're going to be covering a lot of information today, and I'm really excited to share with you what it really looks like to create residual income. Maybe it's a buzzword that you've heard. Maybe you understand like, hey, I should be a network marketer. I should be a network marketing professional, but you're just not quite sure what that means or why you should be looking at this model. Or maybe you're joining me because you've got some naysayers in your life that are saying, hey, why are you doing this crazy thing? It's a pyramid scheme, it's network marketing, whatever that may be. We're going to clear up a lot of those different questions for you today, concerns, hesitations, and I'm going to show you what it looks like to create a residual income model specifically with doTERRA essential oils. So I want to give you a little bit of a background on myself so you can understand why I'm here and why I'm so passionate about teaching people about this model and about what their lives can look like if they choose to partake in this model. Okay, so I am one of the top earners in doTERRA. I have one of the top ranks. I'm a blue diamond in doTERRA, along with my husband, Jeff. And we have achieved that rank in about 3 to 4 years is what it took us to get to blue diamond. We've been doing this for about 6 years now. We've been using essential oils in our life for about 7 years, believe it or not. I can't believe how time flies. And I love being part of not only the company of doTERRA, but of residual income and creating what I call the freedom life or a life of magic. Now, what that means is it doesn't mean that we don't work and we get to lay around all day, but it gives us a life of options. Okay, so a little bit more on our background is I was a successful businesswoman in corporate America. My husband worked for one of the largest construction companies in the entire US. We had complete job security, right? We were going along, we had retirement plans, we had all of this really, really good stuff going on for us. I worked for a large land development company in the Southwest. It was one of the predominant land development companies. I worked directly for the CFO and the COO and the president of the company. I did a lot of great things. I loved my job, I thought, until I had a baby. Okay, so I thought, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to be part of corporate America. I'm going to have my baby and everything is going to be great. And we made it work for a couple years. We made it work for about 2.5 years. And it started to, a couple of different things happened. The first thing that happened was I did not actually like leaving my kid at daycare, leaving my son, Benjamin, at daycare all the time. So with my husband's demands from his job, my demands from his job, our son was sometimes the first picked up in the morning or the first dropped off in the morning and the last child picked up at night. And although he was happy, we had great daycare, it was always a stress wondering, is he getting provided for? We hardly had time with him. I was seeing him a little bit at night because then he would be back asleep at night, okay? So I would pick him up. I got to spend maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours with him in the evenings, and then he was back to sleep, and we would do it all again the next day, over and over and over again. So the world and God works in mysterious ways, and I knew that that wasn't quite for me, and I kind of was forced out of my job because I had that perfect retirement community, right? That retirement plan, and I had great job security. I thought I had great job security. Just like most of us, we think we have job security, but I worked for a land development company in 2010. Guess what happened in 2010? People started getting laid off because the housing market crashed. And when you're in the home building industry, the land development industry, guess what happens? You get laid off too. And one of the hardest parts of my job was I knew exactly when all my friends and family were going to be laid off. I knew the timeline. I knew my termination date. Okay. So another thing happened, and I know now this was all God just putting me in the path of being part of doTERRA, right? And being part of this beautiful residual income model. But at the same time, my job's kind of shaky. I'm not liking really being a stay-at-home or being a working mom. Okay. And My husband finds out from his employer, hey, we need you in LA next week, and it's going to be indefinite. You need to move your entire family from Phoenix to LA, which was really common in his industry, that we had to be ready to leave at the drop of a hat. So we negotiated some things. We let my company know, like, hey, I'm going to be leaving, but I'll stay on 6 months until we could find a home in LA. And when we made that transition of really, not really me quitting, but getting laid off, and him moving to another job opportunity in Los Angeles, we decided it was best for me to stay at home with our baby. We were wanting to have another child, and we knew that with the demands of his job and living in Los Angeles, it would be really hard for me to work as well. I would be going back into the grind and the pace. Okay, so we started to crunch numbers, and we realized, hey, we could make this work. Things were going to be tight, but we could make it work. Okay, so we started to make it work. And I was a stay-at-home mom, and I thought that that is what I wanted. Okay. And I loved the freedom it was giving me. I loved that I got to be at home with my baby. I was pregnant with the second child, and I had some really bad morning signals. But I thought I loved being part of it. And then somebody introduced me to doTERRA for that morning sickness. And then I realized there was an opportunity in it. And when I started looking at the opportunity and I started exploring the opportunity, I realized I was missing a big piece of me. I was missing a giant passion, because I did still like to be part of the working world. It's what lit me up. It was a gift that I had been given to have strategy and to understand business and to help people in business and to be an entrepreneur. But I still wanted to be at home. And when I found doTERRA, and I found what doTERRA residual income looked like, and I understood the concept of network marketing, it was like the worlds clashed and they collided, and it was just shooting stars and the angels were singing, because it was a beautiful model for me. And so now I'm really passionate about teaching others how you can have both worlds, especially women who are looking for a balance between life, kids, but still wanting to have that corporate piece. Teaching families how to have true residual income. So when something happens, you have the backup plan, right? Or you have the plan, and you're not feeling helpless because of where you are. So we're going to dive into that today a little bit more. I want this to be really interactive. I actually have my chat window open right here on the side. And so if you have questions as I'm going through this, please type them into the chat as you have those questions. I may not answer them right at the moment you put them into the chat, but I want to make sure that this is interactive and I get your questions answered. This is your space to learn more about what residual income looks like for a lifetime security, and really what it looks like for doTERRA. Okay, now the first couple of things I'm going to be doing is I'm going to actually look at what residual income looks like. Why are we looking at this model? Why am I so passionate about teaching people not just about essential oils, but about what residual income looks like? So for the next 45 minutes to a half hour to 40 minutes, I am going to dare you to dream. Okay, I'm going to dare you to dream and to start to shift your thinking and to think of things in a different way than you have possibly ever thought about them before. Okay, maybe you are just getting started in your career. Maybe it's later on in your career. Maybe you're looking for something else. But I'm going to dare you on this presentation to dream a little bigger than what you ever dreamed before. Think and open your minds up. Just go open them up. And start to think about the possibilities of what your life could look like as I go through some of these slides. So let's first look at what retirement looks like in the United States currently. Okay, what's your plan? What's your backup plan? Okay, in the United States, we have different forms of employment, right? You can work at what's your plan, right? We have different forms of entrepreneurship. Most of us are going to a job and we're collecting a paycheck, okay? But what are we going to do as we get into our later years? And when do those later years start? Do they get to start at 40? My husband actually said adios, and he fired his boss at the age of 42, okay? So our retirement and our years together actually started at 42 instead of at 65 or 70, okay? He gets to enjoy his kids now instead of when they're already in college, okay? or when they're married and they have their own kids. He gets to enjoy the kids, and the grandkids, not just the kids, okay? What is your plan? Are you investing in a 401k? Are you investing in annuities? What is your plan for when that day comes? Here's some stats, you guys, and these stats are scary and they make me cringe and they make me cry, but the average monthly income for a 62-year-old in this country is $1,992. Okay? That's an average monthly income. Maybe that's coming from annuities. Maybe that's coming from retirement sources. Whatever that looks like, $1,992 a year. The actual estimated cost of living for a 65-year-old retiring couple is $220,000 a year. I'm sorry, there's a little bit of a shortfall. Do you guys see? $220,000. Do you have that backup plan? What is your plan? Are you planning for that in your life? Now, that's current numbers. Okay, maybe you're starting to get toward the age of retirement and these are real numbers for you and you're going, oh my gosh, I need to do something. Or maybe you're a little bit younger and you know that that number is just going to get higher and higher and higher. So the figure does not include cost for nursing home care that more than 70% of retirees will need some time in their retirement. Do you guys know that they sell nursing home insurance now, where you can take out an insurance policy just to make sure your nursing home can be covered? But to do that, you have to come up with like 15 grand over the next 3 years. Okay. If you're only have an income of $2,000 a year or $2,000 a month, okay, how are you going to save and put that money into an account for a nursing home? Okay, these are real stats, people. These are real things. So don't think that you can close your eyes on them and pretend that they don't exist. Okay, in America, people with the average age of 50 have an average retirement savings of $42,000. Okay, now maybe your 401k is a little bit higher, maybe it's a little bit lower, but that is the average fact in this country, that 50% have an average retirement. 75% of those 50 have less than $5,000 in the bank. Okay, 98% of people retiring today are depending on the government, family, or they're still working. Okay, how many of you, maybe yourselves, or you have parents or you have grandparents that are well into their 60s and they're still working because they can't get by on those numbers, or they're living, they're depending on our government for their subsidies. Okay, what does that look like? Okay, so now you can see the statistics are pretty alarming, right? There are statistics that make me cringe. Okay, somebody just typed in, she works in long-term care and the costs are horrible. Okay, so 3 factors to consider before starting a new business. So we're understanding now this residual income model needs to shift slightly. Okay, now I have an entire other presentation that you will be receiving with the download of this after the webinar. That talks more about retirement and annuities and things like that. But I wanted to just briefly touch on this. But let's look at what are 3 factors to consider. So maybe you're like in this little limbo. You're thinking, okay, doTERRA might be an option for me. Maybe you're looking at another direct sale model. I know before doTERRA, believe it or not, my mom wanted me to sell bras. Okay, so that was maybe a residual income model for me. There's a lot of different direct sale companies. Network marketing is becoming the wave of the future. It is a beautiful business model for the entrepreneur. Okay, and so what are you considering right now? So I want you to take these cold hard facts into consideration. Okay, will your company be relevant in 10 to 15 years? Okay, so are you selling a product that somebody is going to want 10 years from now, 15 years from now, maybe 25 years from now? Okay, what is your product? Is it going to be relevant? Okay, is it true? Okay, is it a real product, a real tangible product? Is the product saying what they claim to say? Does it work? Is there integrity? Okay. If you didn't choose to represent it or the product, would you still partake in the opportunity? There's a lot of stuff out there that delivers with it a huge opportunity base. Okay. Many of you on this webinar are probably here because you've been using the products for a long time. And so you are loving the products and you would partake in it regardless as if you got 1 check or 0 checks or 500 checks. Okay. So those are some hard things to look at and consider when you're doing a new business. Okay, so I also want to share some more stats with you. I told you guys this is going to be a little bit different. This is from a recent Gallup survey. This is not my content. This is Gallup's content. And it also says that women are leaving the workforce, okay? I was that person, so I love these stats, and I work with women like this every single day. Okay, women are leaving the workforce. Although there are more than 5 million jobs available in the US, 48% of female employees say they are watching the job market for opportunities or actively looking for a job. Why would that be? 5 million jobs available, 48% of female employees say they are watching the market for opportunities. Why would somebody be looking for another opportunity? You know why? Women demand flexibility. 60% of female job seekers say a job that allows them a greater life balance and better personal well-being is very important to them. 60%. Okay, 60% of people say that. Okay, that was me. I wanted more of a work-life balance for my kids, for myself, and for everything involved. Okay, 53% of stay-at-home moms say having flexibility in their hours or work schedule is a major factor in the ability to take a job. Okay, how many of you are in positions where if your child has a sickness, okay, if your child has a dentist appointment, if your child has a soccer practice at 4 p.m. or any other reason they have something going on at school, how many of you as a working mom can actually be there? Or is it stress for you to say, hey, I need this time away so I can pop into my kids' programs, okay? And that's mothers, okay? How often does the dad get to go to those programs as well, right? Where is that flexibility? How often can this happen? I know for myself, I look around and I go to my children's programs, and it's usually my husband and I almost always that are partaking in all school events because of this beautiful life of freedom we've created. But I look around and it makes my heart break to see that some of those kids don't have a parent in the classroom at their special performance because they don't have the flexibility in a job to be able to do that. Okay, that's a real stat, you guys, and it's real facts. Okay, 46% of female employees say flexible is the most important benefit a company can offer to its workers, and 44 of female employees would leave their current job for one that allowed them to work off-site part-time. Okay, real numbers, you guys. Women demand flexibility. Brand and reputation. 79% of women say the reputation or brand of a company is important to them. Okay, so it's not like, like I want to represent a brand that is trustworthy, that is important to me, that has a cause near and dear to my heart. And 69% of women say the company's cause is important to them. Millennial women place higher importance on a company's cause than do women of other generations. Okay, that's you. That's most of you on this call. Okay, these numbers, these stats, it backs up what other leaders in doTERRA, and what my leadership team is passionate about. It just puts numbers to what we've been saying for quite some time, and I love sharing these with you. All right. So let's go we're going to start to shift, and we're going to go into why doTERRA now looks like this. Okay, so we've got it out. These are just overall statistics, what I went through up until this point of what it looks like to create a residual income, why it's so important that we start to create a pipeline. Okay, so Forbes in 2017 and 2016 they rank America's best mid-sized employers. doTERRA was number 71 on the list, you guys, out of all mid-sized employers in the United States. Okay, so look at this. doTERRA was 71. A lot of our who we would look at as competition or other players in our field, Avon, the new Avon, Herbalife, and Nu Skin, were a lot further down on the ranks. So you start to see how all of those statistics and all of those things that people are looking for, that security to build that pipeline, the information to get people, like the causes that people are looking for, we have them with doTERRA. We're ranked up high. So doTERRA versus other owner business-ships. So we've kind of looked at direct sales. I've looked at direct network marketing for a little bit. Now I want to look at other types of business ownership. Okay, so I recently had one of my leaders that came to me and she says, I think I'm going to get yoga certified, which I love yoga. I practice yoga several days a week. And I know that yoga is beautiful and I don't knock it at all. But what I know about most of my friends that maybe want to run a yoga studio or they are part-time yoga studio instructors is that it's a business that you're still trading time for dollars. Or what if you're a massage therapist? Or what if you do cut hair? Are you trading time for dollars, right? What are you doing in that? Maybe you want to start your own yoga studio. Maybe you want to start your own hair salon. Do you know that the average startup cost for a small business in the United States is over $250,000 and it takes about 5 years to turn a profit? Okay. I was actually recently just talking with a chiropractor on my team, and he was like, his wife and him are very intrigued and working toward a residual income model with doTERRA. They have a booming chiropractic business that he's busy the entire day. They have beautiful office spaces and they are creating change in their community. So why would they want to look at residual income, right? Why would they look at residual income versus that traditional business ownership? It's because they have overhead. They have to pay a lot of employees. They have to pay their rent. They have to have the different insurances, right? So doTERRA is already set up for you. Now, this is usually traditional or common with any direct sale or network marketing model. Why it's gaining so much more popularity is that the startup cost is usually very minimal. For doTERRA, you can start up for as low as $35 and $100 order every month. Okay, so startup cost is really small. You can easily turn a profit relatively quickly depending on how much you are ready to put into your business. Okay, you don't have to go out and rent office space. You don't have to come up with a business plan. It's already done for you. You don't have to have a distribution center. You don't have to create the products. Those are all different things to think about if you're looking at a different type of business ownership model. Okay, maybe you're going to open a Pilates studio. How many Pilates machines do you have to have? How many yoga mats do you have to have? How much is your rent? Think of all those overhead costs, where doTERRA has everything built in with you for you at a very, very small investment. Okay, so let's really dive into what it looks like and why you would do this. So do you need a financial pipeline? Of course you do. You know this now. You know after looking at all of these stats, it's more important than ever to have a financial pipeline. So doTERRA is a place where you can create freedom that most people only dream of. Okay, so start to dream big. If you're not already dreaming big, I want you to start to dream big. Many people spend their lives trading those hours for dollars with no end in sight. Let's start to create a different story with doTERRA. That's the story I created. Instead of being a stay-at-home mom who really, not that I wasn't happy, but I hadn't truly found my passion, and having a husband that was gone all the time, I created a different story with doTERRA. And guess what? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am so passionate about helping you create that different story because I know what this life is like. Okay, so let's look at this story. You may have heard it before, maybe not. So there was a man who hauled buckets of water for a living. Okay, every day he hauled buckets back and forth to the village. Okay, the village needed water, so he hauled the buckets. He always sold out. But what happened if he got sick? What happened if he wanted to go on vacation? He didn't earn money because he wasn't hauling the buckets, right? So after a lot of years, he got really tired. He wanted a vacation. He wanted a backup plan because he knew at some point he was going to have to stop carrying the buckets. And what was he going to do then? So in his spare time, he spent some time building a pipeline. So basically bringing a well to the village instead of hauling the buckets. And maybe he spent 5 hours a day. Maybe he spent 2 hours a day. He spent some time consistently And he labored diligently for a few years, and he created a pipeline. And then one day he turned it on and he had unlimited water. The villagers still paid him, right, for that water source, but he had created it in a different way. He could go on vacation. He could hang out with his wife. He could be there for his kids. All of this stuff was happening because he had spent some time creating this pipeline. What if he had never created that pipeline? He would probably still be hauling buckets. So what are you doing right now in your jobs? Are you hauling buckets? Are you creating a pipeline? What are you doing? All right, let's look at how we can create a different story. Okay, so when we start to create a different story with doTERRA, it's not that we're creating a different story for ourselves, but it's also for many others. We can achieve financial freedom just by simply sharing the oils we enjoy. Okay, if you're on this call, you're probably loving your oils. It's my guess. Okay, so as you grow your pipeline, other lives are impacted. Remember how they said a lot of people, all those women, like 70% of women are looking for an opportunity that has a cause? Guess what? doTERRA has a huge cause. It's called co-impact sourcing. Every time you share oils and doTERRA becomes a bigger and bigger company, lives around the world are blessed. Okay, entire regions and cultures are impacted because you share health and hope with them. Okay, so not only do you gain financially and spiritually and emotional by using the essential oils, but all of the growers and all of the people in all of the communities that are being impacted as well is phenomenal. Okay, so let's just start now. Okay, a year from now, you're going to wish you would have started today. So hopefully by now you guys realize, like, hey, I'm ready for a financial pipeline. I am ready to start saving for my future. I am ready for flexibility in my life and in my job, and I am ready to create a different story for myself. Change lives, grow yourself, and get paid for it. How amazing is that? All right, so why would we make doTERRA our pipeline? We have really looked at a lot of these options already. We've gone through this, but I just wanted to summarize it a little bit. Traditional employment, okay, like the traditional job that most of us are in, we're trading hours for dollars, okay? We're limited on advancement and earnings. We're reliant on an employer's vision, okay? That's a huge one. We're not allowed to dream and create in a lot of different capacities. There's prerequisites and costly education, okay? So many of us, maybe you had to get to those higher level jobs. You have to have your MBA. You have to have this or that or whatever to even be considered for the position. Guess what? None of that applies with doTERRA. And you have limited time freedom. So you are having time freedom that just comes here and there. Okay. Maybe it's on the weekend and then you're mowing the yard all weekend because that's what you have to do to catch up from the week. Okay. But what does authentic, true network marketing look like? It is true, lasting residual income. So as you create this pipeline, as you start to create the pipeline of the water pipeline for yourself, it is a lasting residual income that month after month, because people are enjoying your products, is going to continue on, okay? There's reliant on your own vision, so you can do whatever you want to in your business, okay? I'm gonna tell you, we've got a plan that works. We've got a system that works. We're here to educate you and train you, but within that system, you can be you. Okay, there's no limits or in that advancement and earnings, so you have the potential to go all the way to the top. You're not capped by the boss at the top like in traditional employment. And there's no prerequisites, and it's free education. Network marketing, especially doTERRA, is one of the biggest journeys in personal development you will ever partake in. I learn new things about myself each and every day that there's no way you could actually learn that in school. It is amazing what you learn about yourself and about other people, and the education you receive free as part of your doTERRA journey. And you get to choose your schedule, okay? So this is the biggest freedom that I love. Like I said, I still put hours into my business because I love it, because I have a passion about it. I still am putting hours in, but I get to choose when it is, okay? So like today, I got up early, I got my workout in, I did all of these beautiful things. I'm gonna do this webinar, I'm gonna do about 2 hours of calls, and then I'm calling it quits for the entire weekend. I probably won't pick up the phone and do anything else until Monday morning at 11 o'clock, okay? And so it's my freedom to choose my schedule, okay? Now I'm going to say, like, there's still going to be hours that we have to put in. There's nothing comes free, right? But it is an amazing, amazing schedule when you get to choose. Okay. When I first started out, I could work in kids' nap times. I could work before they went to bed or after they went to bed, before they woke up in the morning. I got to fit it into pockets of my day, and I got to create what I wanted. And guess what? We're going to look at that in just a moment, a little bit more. Okay, so what do you want to create? Let's start to look at some numbers. We know we're like, hey, it's time to look at some doTERRA opportunity here. I'm ready to go. Maybe you're like, you just needed a kickstart. You're on this webinar because you're already part of doTERRA and you're like, hey, I am ready now to begin. Or I've used the products for a while and now it's time to get serious. Okay, so what does this look like? doTERRA's compensation plan, it rewards leadership. Okay, so it is not what we call top-loaded, which is very common among a lot of other compensation plans in the industry, is that you get a lot of money up front, but it's really hard to maintain that over the course of time. And so ours is flipped. Okay, so we're going to actually reward leadership, and the higher you become as a leader, the more money you get. And the reason they do it that way is because they want really responsible, educated people ready to take on being a representation of the beautiful culture that doTERRA has, to be the ones that are earning the upper ranks, okay? Because we are basically an extension of the doTERRA founding members, okay? All right, so how does it look? So I just have, this is just the grand scale of things, and I'm going to dive into each of these just a little bit more, okay? So as you can see, what this represents right here, the bottom is the purple. This is all the different ways we can get paid. There's basically 4 ways to get paid. There's a fast start bonus, a power of 3 bonus, a uni-level bonus, and a leadership pool bonus. We're going to dive into each one of these a little bit more, but I want to show you on this chart how this looks is that, you know, your uni-level bonus, like as you can see, as you first get started, this fast start bonus is one of the main bonuses that you're going to be receiving. And then as you climb up and you start to go into what we call the premier range, there it starts to be your power of 3 bonus. Okay, now this is showing what it takes to get there. So an elite, if we look at what an elite actually is, an elite is somebody that has shared and with about 15 people. So you've shared and brought 15 people into the business with you, and you have about $3,000 a month in overall sales. That's per month. And at that rank, you're going to have approximately $300 a month. And again, that's primarily coming from fast start bonuses, okay? All right, now if you look at the next structure up, which is a premier, now a premier has an overall volume of 5,000, and then you have 2 children that both are earning $2,000 a month, that have $2,000 in sales every month. That looks like you've enrolled about 25 people, over 25 people. And then you have about 600 in sales, or you get your income's about 600 every month. And then we go on up to the top ranks that we'll look at in just a moment. But silver, you've led 3 people to elite. So if you hop back down here to elite, you found 3 people that want to do this as a business with you, who have all enrolled 15 people, and they're getting their monthly order paid for, or they're getting about $300 a month, okay? Now, silver is an average of about $2,100 a month, okay? So that's pretty substantial. Silver is, most of my silvers are putting in 10 to 12 hours a week, and I think that's pretty good. A $2,100 check for 10 to 12 hours a week. That's pretty darn phenomenal on your own schedule. And then we go up from there, and we're gonna just continue to lead different people, okay? So our gold is going back down where we've got our gold rank is 3 premiers, okay? And 3 premiers, if we go hop back down here, 3 premier is 5,000 in volume with 2 legs or 2 children of 2,000 in overall sales, okay? And so at gold, you've led 3 people to $600 a month. So not only has your life changed, but you've impacted multiple lives. And that looks like you've enrolled about 25 people. So overall, you've got at least 100 people that are having amazing results with essential oils, and their health is going from good to great, okay? And so gold is, again, it's about $5,000 a month, and gold is an average of probably about 15 to 20 hours a week is where you're going to hit the gold level. And then we just keep going up. Platinum is the 3 silvers, so you just hop back down. Do you see how it's all just a stairway? And if you know how to get to this rank, if you know how to get to elite, you can go all the way to the top to presidential diamond, okay? Now, let's look at these a little bit more. And as you see, the rewarding of the leadership, some of the top bonus pools aren't coming in until higher up in the leadership. That's where you might not get many of them down at the lower levels, but as you increase, you're getting more and more of what we call these leadership bonus pools, and it's really promoting leadership within, okay? And if you guys have questions as I'm going through this, please drop them in the chat, and I will make sure I get to these questions as I go on. All right, so let's break apart. Now we're going to break apart these 4 little spots on the bottom. Okay, so the fast start bonus. Now this, remember, I want to really emphasize this one. This one is where you're going to get the majority of your money right away. So if you need to get your oils paid for, you need to get you need some extra money for a car payment or whatever, a vacation, we are going to really focus in on helping you get some fast start bonuses. So fast start bonuses are paid each and every week. The checks are cut on Wednesday for the previous Sunday to Sunday. To participate in this bonus, you have to have a 100 LRP template in place. So you have to place your own personal order for 100 PV. Okay, you guys, in network marketing, this is peanuts. This is the only thing you have to do basically to go all the way to presidential diamond is 100 PV order. Okay, I can tell you right now, my family loves doTERRA. We have incorporated it in as a huge part of our wellness care model. And just our family definitely uses over 100 PV that we would use regardless of this. So really easy to be able to get commissions in doTERRA. Again, 100 PV is all you have to do. And to get this fast start bonus, basically you need to share oils with others and help them get their own wholesale account. And every single time that you have helped somebody get a wholesale account and then they place orders, anything they place in the first 60 days, you are going to get 20% commission on that. Okay, so if you're familiar with our kits, maybe you sell a natural solutions kit, maybe you help somebody bring natural solutions into their home, which is our most popular kit, you would get an $80 check for doing that. Okay, now the next thing you want to do is not only help yourself bring new people in, but once you start to find those business partners or those friends that want to get their oils paid for, then you're going to start to help them get their people enrolled, their friends and family enrolled. And so when that happens, they're going to get 20%, okay, for getting that enrollment. You're helping them. They're going to get 20% of that commission for the first 60 days, and you are going to be rewarded for that also, right? Because remember, we promote leadership, and you're going to get 10% in commissions for helping that person get started in doTERRA. Okay, so lots of different options that you are going to be going through as you get this. Now remember, this is the first 60 days. Okay, don't worry, you're still going to get paid on commissions after 60 days, but this is how you can get your now money now. Are you ready to go now? Do you want your oils paid for? Let's get sharing. Okay, that's all you have to do. Share with friends and family, get your oils paid for. Got it? Okay, and you all love the product, so it's really easy. You just say, hey, did you know that I used this peppermint on my head and my head tension was gone like that? Okay, that's all you got to do. You got to share with your friend, tell her, and then she's going to say, well, how do I get some of that? And you're going to say, okay, I'm going to teach you how to get your own wholesale account. I'm not ordering your stuff for you. I'm going to teach you how to get your own. And bam, you guys are getting checks from doTERRA. Easy as that. And you know what's even cooler? You know what's even more awesome? Is that you probably have an amazing upline in doTERRA that is going to come and help you. And they're going to teach all of your classes for you at first, maybe your first 1 to 2 or to 3, so that you understand how to do that. And all you're going to have to do is invite your friends and family over for some chips and salsa, and your doTERRA leader is going to help you teach those classes. So we make it super easy to get these fast start bonuses, okay? Because we want you to get some money in your pockets for it. Okay, now the second way we're going to get paid is our Power of 3 bonus. Okay, now this is another huge portion of where your money is coming from, and this is it rewards people not just initially bringing doTERRA into their homes, but also continuing to use the products monthly. Teaching people how to love lifelong vitality and those supplements, how to use the shampoo and conditioner and the soaps and all those different things, and how to have not an increase in spending in their homes, but shifting the way they are spending in their homes. Okay, so it's going to reward you for teaching people. So not just teaching people how to get oils into their home the first time, but teaching people how to continue to use our beautiful doTERRA products. Okay. So our qualified, so once you do that, you have you, and then the first 3 friends that you have taught about essential oils or about their wholesale membership, you're going to teach them how to have a 100 PV order as well, just like you. And when you do that, you are going to get, it's got to be you and 3 people on your front line. So you pay it forward to 3 people, and you and the 3 people, between the 4 of you, you have a combined volume of about 600 OV. It has to be at least 600 OV. So maybe you've got an extra person on that front line. Maybe your order's 200, theirs are 150, whatever that looks like, as long as it's 600 and all of you have your loyalty rewards order in place, you're going to get a $50 bonus for doing that. Okay, $50 extra, and that happens every single month that you can do that, not just the first time. Okay, now those 3 friends that are loving and enjoying their products, you're gonna just teach them how to pay it forward, right? 3 by 3 by 3. You're going to teach them how to pay it forward, and you're going to teach them how to get a $50 bonus so that most of their order is paid for as well. Because between the $50 bonus and then the fast start bonuses that are coming in, your 100 PV order is absolutely free and paid for. Now, it doesn't even have to look like you want to go to Blue Diamond. It's just simply getting your oils paid for it first, okay? And every month that you teach your 3 friends or family how to do the same with the 50, you're going to get $250. Again, that is amazing residual income power right there. That is like putting like $5,000 into a retirement account each and every month that's earning interest, is just getting your 250 power of 3. Okay. Then we're going to go on and we're going to teach those people to do the same thing. And that's a $1,500 power of 3. So, that's amazing. $1,500 extra a month. That's a car payment. That's a mortgage payment. That is a lot that you can do with $1,500 a month just for sharing and paying it forward. So that's the second way to get paid. So if we hop back to this, you're going to see this is the fast start is the purple. Okay. The blue is the power of 3. Okay, so these, as you see, usually at Elite, we might have the 50 in place, but between Elite to Premier, the fast start is going to be about half, and the power of 3 is going to be about half, okay? All right, so after that, the last 2 ways in which we can get paid is our uni level. So remember, on our first way that we got paid was our fast start bonus, okay? And we got paid 20% on the first 60 days. So what happens after the first 60 days? After the first 60 days, everybody under you, whether your upline put them there, you put them there, your friends put them there, whoever falls under you in doTERRA, we're basically like a giant family tree, and your grandma, and you've got kids, and then you've got grandchildren, and all the way down, okay? You are going to get paid on those at a different structure. So after 60 days, we flip to this uni level. And this is on monthly, paid monthly. Okay, so paid monthly on team volume for members outside the fast start bonus window. Okay, so if we look at this and we say, okay, we've got a 65% retention rate in doTERRA. We're getting paid down 7 levels. Okay, so there's 7 levels down that we can get paid. I want you guys to look at something. Our levels are 2%, 3%. So the people on your top level, you're going to get 2% at. The people on your second level, you're going to get 3%, and so on, all the way down to level 7, where you're going to get 7%. Okay. Now, most direct sale companies are actually flipped, so you get the higher percentage on the top. That's why it's hard to look at them as continued residual income versus upfront money. Okay. So when you have it like this, your level one, you're going to be getting a smaller percentage on. You're going to get about $9. But as you see, as you go down and you're getting paid a higher percentage where you have more people, see, like on level 4, you've got 81 people. On level 5, you've got 243 people. Okay, you're getting a higher percentage where you have more people. Okay, so your dollars go up and up and up. So if you had 2,100 people in your organization, okay, or 2,100 people on your 7th level, and all of these on each level above, you would have an average earnings of $32,000 a month. Okay, that's phenomenal, you guys. That's amazing. Okay, yes, that's a month. That's not a year. That's per month. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind is that you don't get paid on some of these levels unless you're reaching certain ranks in doTERRA. But this is what our uni-level compensation plan looks like. And if you look back to here, the uni level is what starts to take off. At first, is a smaller portion of our income, and then it starts to be a very large portion of our income. Okay, starts to be, so this is the green right here. It's actually this whole section. Okay, so at first it's a smaller portion, and then and that's just because it takes a while for your organization to get larger and larger and larger. Okay, and it's going to keep going up and up and up. Okay, so let's go back and let's look at the last way to get paid, and that is with leadership bonus pools. This is something that doTERRA is super passionate about, and what they do is they take 6% of overall global profits and they roll it back into the leadership ranks. Okay, so what this does is it's promoting leadership. It's allowing us to not have it be like her team, his team, that team, whatever, but all of us to work together in harmony and beauty to have leadership bonus pools, okay? So that we create this culture at doTERRA that is so unique and so different, okay? So 2% of that 6% is split between silvers, golds, and platinums, okay? 1% is given to diamonds, blue diamonds, and presidentials, is split between that leadership group. And then diamonds get an extra 1%, blue diamonds get an extra 1%, and presidential diamonds get an extra 1%, okay? There's actually a new part of the bonus pool that I don't have on here, but there is also, they brought it down. This is something that has never been done in network marketing history, but they actually brought some of the bonus pools down to the lower levels, okay? So now premiers and silvers get an extra piece of the bonus pool. It's about an extra average of $200 a month just for participating and being one of those leaders and getting an enrollment every month. So what does it look like when you actually put it all together? Okay, when you actually put it all together, I'm actually going to go back to this one because I like this one a little better. Okay, when you put it all together, these are what the numbers look like. Okay, this is what the real numbers look like. So we already went through the elite, the premier, the silver. Okay, let's go look at the gold, $4,600 a month. That's when you have all these different pools. You're pulling in all of this. You're about $4,667 per month. Now, I will say these averages are when you can achieve your rank first, like about mid-month. Okay, and you're working with your 1,500 powers of 3 and your uni levels, okay? If you're a stealth ninja at the compensation plan like I was, and I still am, you might be hitting ranks before your uni level has caught up, but these are real averages for doTERRA, okay? So platinum is basically you have led 3 people to silver. So let's hop back and let's look at what silver looks like. Silver is you, and you have 3 people that you've taught how to get their oils paid for, basically. Okay, let's hop it back to what an elite is. Elite is overall volume of 3,000 with an average of 15 personal enrollments and $300 a month. So do you see how platinum is basically you just can hop back? So all you have to do is find 3 people who want to help 3 people and then help those 3 elites, okay? So platinum is $87.50 per month, okay? Dream, guys, take a moment, absorb that. What would you do with an extra almost $9,000 a month? Would you be able to quit your job and have flexibility? Would you have been able to quit your job at silver? Maybe you were able to quit your job at Premier because the $600 was the difference between daycare and something else. Or maybe $600 allows you to go on a family vacation that you've been wanting to go on for quite some time. It's going to look different for everybody. But at Platinum, that's some substantial income, you guys. That's pretty significant, okay? Then I want you to look at Diamond. Diamond is that you lead 4 people to Silver. Okay, so let's hop it back. What's Silver? Silver is 3 elites. What's an elite? 3,000 in volume, enrolled 15 people. Okay, so that's a couple classes. How many of you know about half of the people you invite will enroll? How many of you know 30 people that would love essential oils? You probably already have a list going in your mind. Okay, so Diamond, hop back to Silver, hop back to Elite. Okay, it just builds up. But Diamond, this is one of our first, this is our biggest jump, our biggest substantial leadership level, is $16,000 a month. $16,000. Okay. This is where dreams start taking shape in forms in lives that you might not be even able to comprehend right now. When I started in doTERRA, I could comprehend Elite. I could comprehend getting my oils paid for. Because remember, we were living in LA. I didn't work. My husband was gone all the time. I needed a way to pay for my oils. So I got to Elite really fast because I wanted those oils paid for. But let's hop up to some of these. But this is where big dreams start to happen, right? This is where big retirement plans can happen. This is where maybe people get to say adios to the boss, right? Or they feel comfortable that they're not going to have to live on the $2,100 that the average 65-year-old has at retirement, okay? Then we're going to get up to Blue Diamond. Again, let's hop back and let's just break this down. You're leading 5 people to gold. So gold is what? It's 3 premiers. What are 3 premiers? 2 executives, okay? Executives is about halfway to elite. So again, we're coming up, and the average on that, again, that's if you're hitting by the 15th of the month, is about $36,000 a month, okay? That's where not only your life has changed, but you are making a global impact on people, okay? You are living a completely different life, and you're starting to, I look at Blue Diamond, it represents 5 people that have gotten to this level of financial freedom. And then it looks like, okay, how many more people can we help globally because of this? What does that represent? And then Presidential Diamond is that you've led 6 people to platinum. And yes, that's a real number, $106,000 a month. And this is where you are a game changer in the global economy because of your giving power, because of what you have created and the influence that you have risen up to in a leadership. Okay. So this is what the possibilities look like. Now let's break it down and let's look at what you're ready for right now. Okay. This is where, if you guys want to see on the annual level and the percentage of leaders that are there, this is what it looks like. This is our 2016 earnings and disclosure summary. Okay. All right. So the 10-year plan. What if we had a 10-year plan? Okay. So it doesn't mean that we have to do this all right now, but what if we had a 10-year plan? Then in 1 year we hit executive, which is 2,000 in OV. In 2 years we hit elite. Okay, 10-year plan. In 3 years we hit premier. In 4 years it's silver. In 5 years it's gold. In 6 years it's platinum. In 7 years it's diamond. 8 years is blue diamond. In 10 years it's presidential diamond. Okay, what if it took us 10 years to get to presidential diamond? Maybe it's not even our goal right now. It doesn't matter how slow you go as long as you don't stop. So let's real quickly, okay, we're going to go through what your retirement plan can look like, okay? So maybe it's your 2 to 5 year retirement plan. Maybe it's 10 years, whatever it looks like. All you have to do for it, no matter how much you're looking at it, is you have to share oils with people. You have to teach them how to bring oils into their home, and you have to enroll, right? Or teach them how to have wholesale membership, customers and people that want to do this with you. And you have to launch new people that do the same. Okay. So I just want you to stop and think about this for a moment. It's amazing how people think that 4 years is a long time to succeed in a business, but it's all right to stay broke and in a job for 40 years. Ponder that. So even if you have a 10-year plan, so what? If you have a 4-year plan, great. Just get started. Because that's true. We think that 4 years is a long time to build a business. We want instant. Right now, but it's all right to stay broke. No, it's not. Okay, so earn extra spending money. This is our plan. Let's look at what it looks like. So maybe you're ready. The next thing to do is kind of figure out, okay, where do I want to start? And there's no wrong or right answer. It's what works for you at this moment. And it might change tomorrow. It might change next week. It might change next month. But where is it going to start? So there's option number one is that we're going to earn extra spending money. That's about $300 to $600 a month. And again, you have the Elite to Premier Gold goal. So if you remember, Elite was that you've enrolled about 15 people. Premier was about 25, and you have 2 people working with you. Your needed investment is 3 to 5 hours per week. Okay, so it's not a lot of extra investment, but I will say those hours need to be consistent. Okay, so it's not that 1 week I have 5 hours to work on doTERRA, and then for the next 3 weeks I'm not going to work on it at all, and then I'm going to start back up. It's hard to continue on with it if we're not being consistent with our hours. But consistently we're working 3 to 5 hours a week, and you're personally enrolling a few people per month. And if you are committed to this and you're doing it consistently, you've got about 2 to 3 months to Elite, and Premier is about 6 months. Now, I've seen people do it faster. I've seen people do it slower. Again, it's your pace and what you want to put into it. Maybe you're looking to supplement your income. You're going to want to go to the Premier to Gold range. Okay. Now remember, Premier is about 600. Gold is around 5,000 per month. Your needed investment, we've got to bump it up a little bit, 10 to 15 hours a week. Okay, so we're consistently putting in 10 to 15 hours in our business per week. And if you're doing it at that pace, you're enrolling 4+ customers every month. You're constantly finding contacts, and you're enrolling 4 people, and you're enrolling 1 person that wants to do this with you per month. Now, how that person does it is going to be different. You know, you might have somebody that wants to build it full-time like you. You might have a couple of people that are in there that's elites, but you're enrolling at least a couple people, 1 person a month that wants to share oils with others. Your goal would then be Elite in 1 to 2 months, Silver in 6 to 9 months, and Gold in 1 to 2 years. And then you want to replace and multiply your income. Okay, so you're not looking at it as an add-on retirement savings account. You are looking at it as the retirement savings account. So that's going to look Gold to Presidential Income, which is $4,916, or about $5,000 a month, all the way up to about $113,000 per month. This is where you're that world changer. Okay. Needed investment is 15 to 30 hours a week. I want to be really real and honest with you. It does take that time commitment. If you want to have these numbers and you want to have it in these time frames, there might be, and that's the average. So there might be weeks that you are working a lot more than 30 hours a week. There might be some that you have less, but it will be probably, I'm saying more of closer to, especially once you start the momentum and you have a lot of people doing this with you, it's going to be up to that time commitment of 30 hours a week. And that's usually why around the rank of Gold, we're starting to look at reducing the income, like reducing our other form of income, like maybe looking at quitting a job or somebody joining in the business. Okay. So right around Diamond is when my husband joined in the business, and he does a lot of the support role behind us so that I can be out with people. Because it's going to take a little bit more than that. But I would say that I want to be really honest. It is going to be that 30 hours a week of a time commitment. Okay. But again, it's when it works for you. It's not on the boss's schedule. I can still be at the kids' activities. I can still do a lot of other things, but I am still putting in at least 30 hours into my business a week. But it gets more and more freedom-ish the higher we get in this welcome lifestyle, this beautiful, beautiful lifestyle. So that goal will be Elite in 1 month, Silver in 2 to 3 months, and Diamond in 1 to 3 years. And I will tell you guys right now, that is exactly the path that my husband and I took. And I would say the elite in 1 month, I wasn't quite putting in the 15 hours a week, but as soon as I committed to 30 hours a week and doing the right activities, the diamond did happen in 18 months. Okay. So, but that's where you're enrolling at least 8 customers a month, and you are bringing 2 builders on into your organization each and every month. So this is what it looks like. So what plan are you going to choose? Okay. Which ones are you going to do? I would love for you guys to share with me in the chat where you guys are feeling you're at right now. Let's declare it right now. Where are you feeling that you are right now? Are you part-time? Are you spare time? Or are you full-time? Okay, so just want to make sure you guys are all on with me still. Okay, so the movement builds belief. Okay, so how are we going to get there? I'm going to give you a couple of simple steps to get started. But this is something that we will, again, we will continue to explore as you try to decide to make this your goal. Okay. So the first thing we have to do is we have to set our goal. The elite rank is the foundational to building a successful doTERRA business. Set the goal to be elite and choose your pace. Okay. So really just choose your pace. Okay. 90 days, 30 days, 14 days is outrageous. Where do you want to be in your goal? Okay. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to fill in your names list. Your names list is critical to your success. Identify where to begin sharing to change the lives of those you care about. Start by brain dumping without filtering. Okay. So, and a lot of these tools you will receive as part of the follow-up to this presentation. So if you are registered for this webinar, you will be getting a lot of the tools and some more resources delivered right to your inbox to help you get started. If you're watching this later on our YouTube channel, or somebody has shared it with you later on, you can always go back and you can contact that person that shared it with you, and we can get you these tools to get you started. Okay, so the third thing is our action. Okay, we're going to share, we're going to enroll, and we're going to launch. Okay, so that's the action. So we're going to set our goal, fill in our names list, and we are going to achieve our goals wherever they're at. Is it 30 days, 90 days, 14 days? And we're going to share, enroll, and build with each other. Okay, again, we have lots of tools to do this. This was just a brief overview of what it looks like to create residual income with doTERRA. Okay, so you're free to choose, but the choices you make today will determine what you have, be, and do in the tomorrow of your life. What I am inviting all of you guys to do today is to just choose some form of sharing doTERRA. I know that you're loving them, you're using them in your home, and it's time to be free. It's time to be free physically, financially, emotionally, to have the best life possible, to have a life of options, to have a life where we can walk in our truth, stand in our truth, and create magic each and every day. So I want to thank you guys all for joining me. I'm here to answer your questions. Again, you're going to be getting a lot of information from me within the next 24 hours of this. Again, if you're getting this, if you're watching this on our YouTube channel or through a link, make sure you get back to the person that invited you to this webinar. And if you're not quite sure who that was, you can always go to powerfullyessential.com. That is our team website, and you can put an inquiry in there and we can get you connected to all of the resources you need. We would love to have you as business partners. I am, like I've said multiple times on this webinar, is I truly believe that network marketing is the profession of the future, and I love teaching entrepreneurs how to find success in their lives, especially with doTERRA. And learning what it looks like to create this freedom life. I'm ready to link arms with you, and hopefully you are going to join either myself or one of my business partners, or you're just going to join doTERRA and start somewhere, right? $300 a month, $1,500 a month. Maybe it's always, guys, the limit, $100,000 a month. And dream big, my dears. And we will talk to you soon. Bye.